Hi, good evening. This is my video response to Avalonmoon's video about transgendered women in Dianic Wicca. I thought your video was very well done, and it also addresses a very important question. The way I see it is that I think that very many get hung up on physical gender, and I think that gender isn't as black and white as many people think it is. I read an article once that I really liked, which said that gender is more like a scale, and then you have two scales, one for the physical and one for the mental. Like, for example, physically you have women that have a lot of male hormones, and men who have a lot of female hormones. And instead of having you be male, female, and then a few people who are there's something wrong with, that's in between, that's hermaphroditic, more like it's a natural scale, so that there's nothing wrong with hermaphrodites, there's nothing wrong with being in the center, and that very few people are completely on one side or completely on the other. I think there's a lot of wisdom in that worldview, and there's also the same with the mental, that you have a sliding scale. For example, I am definitely female, but I also have a lot of male traits. I am aggressive. I don't mean violent, but I am aggressive, I'm territorial. I like a lot of male things. Most of my friends are male because I relate better to men than to women, and I wouldn't know what to do with a makeup brush. But at the same time, I am definitely a woman, so I would say that on that scale, if you say it's 1 to 100, where 1 is completely feminine and 100 is completely male, I would be perhaps on 30. And most people have their mental gender scale and their physical gender scale at about the same level, so that if you are like a 2 and are very feminine in the body, you also are around the 2 and is very feminine in the mind. But this is not always so. And I feel that spiritually you are no less a woman if you have a male body but a female mind. So I feel that you can definitely practice Dianic Wicca and be physically male, even if you are, and be spiritually and mentally a woman. I do want to note here that there are actually men who are not transgendered who do practice Dianic Wicca. I, however, agree with you that, to me, Dianic Wicca is too much. I feel that Wicca should, and also Wicca-like paganism, as I am Wiccanish, not completely Wicca, I feel that spirituality should be balanced. That there's nothing better in over-emphasizing and over-appreciating the female than it is over-appreciating the male. I think there should be a balance. You cannot have we don't exist in a vacuum. We need both men and women. We need both male and female qualities. But yes, when that is said, I think that as a transgendered person choosing to follow Dianic Wicca, that takes a lot of guts, because there will be a lot of people who feel that gender is determined only by what. If you have boobs and a womb, then you're a woman. If you have a penis, then you're a man, and that's it. Now, I don't agree with that view, but you will meet a lot of people as a transgendered, and I also think that if you read a lot of classic Wiccan literature, like for example with Gardner's books, you will find quite a bit of rigidity there. Like I was talking with a Christian friend of mine, and he asked about this, and I had to admit that yes, if you read some of Gardner's books, you will find quite a bit of homophobia there. I'm not saying that transgendered is the same as being homosexual, because basically if you're a transgendered woman, then you are a woman, and then being attracted to a man, for example, doesn't make you gay, it makes you a woman being attracted to a man. But the two sort of hang together in the whole alternative gender or sexual identity sphere. And you will find some prejudice in classic Wicca literature for people that identify so. Now, some of it you can explain away as being due to the times the books were written. After all, they are half a decade old, so there wasn't as much openness about being yourself if you did not fit into the A4 categories than as there is now. But at the same time, if I were to be asked what's the heart of Wicca, I would say that the heart of Wicca is duality. It's the duality between man and woman, between light and dark. I feel that the most important point in Wicca is that duality. And I can see that some people who are transgendered or who are homosexual, I myself are bisexual, can find it difficult to fit into a philosophy that are that focus that much on the gender duality. But like I said to my Christian friend, the way I see it is that none of us can say that we are completely feminine or completely masculine. We are all on that scale. So me, you, anyone, you are physically and mentally a woman, a transgendered person who is physically and mentally of different sexes, someone who are homosexual or lesbian, anyone, have one piece of them who are male and one piece of them who are female. I feel that without this duality, life cannot exist, so that all of us are both men and women. All of us are both female and male. So that I feel that there's no problem practicing Wicca of any path, because you can just as much celebrate the goddess as a man as you can as a woman. Now, as for events, I sort of are a bit on the fence on that, because as a liberalist, I feel that if you create an event, you can exclude whoever you want. I don't think that it's right, and if I were hosting an event, I definitely would not exclude anyone for being transgendered. But at the same time, I feel that if you want to be narrow-minded, that's your right. So that if if someone hosts an event which is just for women. And let me also point out that there are men who do practice Dianic. We can point that out again. But yes, if you host an event that are just for women, it's sort of your choice whether or not you want to allow transgendered females to attend. I think you should, but at the same time, I think that if you're against that, it's your event. You can exclude whoever you want. At the same time, I do understand the need sometimes as a woman to have a place to interact with other women. Because often men and women see things very differently. And also, like you point out, historically there have been so many things where women has been excluded. That to balance that out, it is sort of nice to have some events where only women are allowed, and also some women feel more comfortable being in the company of other women than if there are also males there. And not everybody will see a transgendered woman as a woman. I do, but I sort of feel like it's everybody's right to determine that for themselves. However, I feel that just basing your idea of sex upon the physical, that is very limited. I also really love your point when you say that how is it that we believe in reincarnation, we believe in gods and fairies and elementals. We believe that an animal can be connected to us as a familiar. We believe in magic, that we with our minds and a few rituals can affect reality. All of this we believe in, but we do not believe that someone who has a penis, who is born physically a man, can be a woman. I think that's very limited, and I think that point definitely bears repeating. So, yes, my opinion on it is that you can definitely practice Dianic Wicca. Now, bear in mind, I am not a Wiccan, I am Wiccanish, and I do not ascribe to Dianic Wicca, so what I know about it is what I've read in books and learned from people I've talked with. So I'm in no means an expert here, and I'm only speaking from my experience, limited as it may be. But yes, I feel that even if you're a man, even if you're a transgendered female, or a transgendered male, you can practice Dianic Wicca. I think that you should, if you're hosting an event, you should definitely allow transgendered females to attend women-only events, because I feel that they are women. That I feel that basing your idea of gender just on the physical is limited, especially since we are practicing something very spiritual, then you should definitely look beyond the flesh. But I also feel that if you are hosting an event, it has to be your choice. I can also see that some attendees of such an event, especially if there's to be ritual nudity and so on, can feel uncomfortable by having someone with a male body there. Not everybody is comfortable with seeing a naked penis. And if you haven't had an operation, then yes, a transgendered woman will have a penis. So I can definitely understand denying them entrance to a women-only event for that reason. But if it's just because of prejudice that they are not women, that they can't join into the ritual, they can't join into even a fully clothed ritual just because somebody has the idea that if you are not physically a woman, then you're not a woman. I'm thinking, what about a transgendered male? Is it okay for them to attend if someone has a female body but a male mind? Is that okay? So I think that while historically in Wicca there have been some phobia towards those of altered gender or sexual or identity, we should try to get past that. I think that as pagans we should try to be as open as we can and do away with as many prejudices as we can, because I do not think prejudice leads anything good with it. So yes, that's sort of sums up my opinion on it. I think that a transgendered woman is a woman, and she can be a Dianic Wiccan as much as she likes, and that I think the goddess will look upon such a person as her daughter, because I think that what we feel inside, our identity inside, is much more important than our physical identity. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you for a great video. Oh, and just to clarify, when I say you, when I talk about some, I guess that can be a bit confusing because it's mannerism from Norwegian, where we say we can both say you as in meaning you, the person I'm talking to, but it can also mean you as in someone. So just I hope you understand what I'm talking about. Oh, here my cat is walking past. Isn't she pretty? That's Maud. Anyway, thank you for your great video. I hope you have a great weekend, and blessed be.